Hi again everyone, and welcome to another episode of Gospel and Spade. Today I will give a brief overview of the geography of Bashan. Bashan is situated between the Jordan Rift Valley to the west, Mount Hermon to the north, Mount Bashan to the east, and Gilead to the south. The high plateau of land known as Bashan is mentioned 60 times in the Old Testament, and was part of the tribal allotment that was given to the tribe of Manasseh during the days of Joshua. During the New Testament period, its western area was called Golanitis, and its eastern portion was known as Trachonitis, and today the region is known as Golan. Bashan also apparently contained the two small semi-independent Old Testament kingdoms of Maacah in the north and Geshur in the south. The land of Argob, known as Battania in the New Testament, also seems to have been a part of southern Bashan during the Old Testament. South of the Yarmuk River, the lands of Bashan and Gilead gradually blend into one another. It is thought that this is the region the Bible calls Havoth Jair, which is mentioned as being in both Bashan in Joshua 13 verse 30 and Gilead in 1 Kings chapter 4 verse 13. It appears that this area acted as a kind of transition zone between the lands of Bashan in the north and Gilead in the south during the Old Testament. The land was famous in biblical times for its general fertility and abundance, and was famous in the Old Testament for its cattle and also for its oak forests, which are both mentioned in Ezekiel chapter 27 verse 6 and chapter 39 verse 18. And several times elsewhere in the Old Testament. This abundance was based upon the land's fertile volcanic soils and plentiful rainfall. It later became famous for its wheat production during the Roman period, in spite of the somewhat rocky nature of the ground. The land of Bashan is also famous in the Old Testament as being the land over which the infamous giant king of the Amorites, Og, ruled over, before the destruction of both him and his kingdom by Israel during the time of Moses, which is first mentioned in Numbers chapter 21 verses 33 to 35. A famous New Testament city in the north of this region is Caesarea Philippi, which is situated at the southern foot of the highest mountain in the Holy Land, Mount Hermon. It was here that Peter made his famous declaration in Matthew chapter 16, verses 13 to 20, that Jesus was the Christ, or Messiah. It is also likely that it was on the slopes of nearby Mount Hermon that Jesus was transfigured 6 days after Peter's famous declaration, which can be found in Matthew chapter 17, verses 1 to 9. Though some do think that Mount Tabor, further to the south in Israel, may have been the site of the Transfiguration. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to leave a like, comment and subscribe for more new content every Friday.